This is a short video explaining how Mejiro Dober unique works, as well as some tips and tricks to proc Mejiro Dober's unique more consistently. Acceleration skills are meant to be procced at the start of the late game. If you proc an acceleration skill in the middle game, it will not do much unless the acceleration effect carries into the late game. You're probably already familiar with this skill. Redshift is an acceleration skill that procs on the final corner and beyond, as long as you're in the 1st to 5th place position. In the Taurus Cup CM1, the Tokyo 2400 meters course, the late game starts right at the end of 3rd corner and about to enter 4th corner. Since we want our acceleration skills to proc early into the late game, Redshift is a very strong acceleration skill on the Tokyo 2400 meters because it has a very small delay of 23 meters, it is effective for its full duration, and it also has a very loose positional requirement. This explains why Redshift is the most sought after acceleration on the Tokyo 2400 meters course. However, if we head on to Kyoto 3000 meters, the conditions for CM6, the Kikesho, the late game will start on the back stretch. In this case, since Redshift procs right here, it is not going to be an effective acceleration because it is very delayed. You will ideally want your acceleration to proc here instead of here. Some acceleration skills are far more versatile than others. For example, angling and scheming and let's pump some iron are two very important acceleration skills that can work on a lot of the tracks. As long as the late game starts on a corner, these two acceleration skills will be in play, and your win condition, no matter your strategy, is going to be how you can most effectively utilize these acceleration skills on your aces. However, both of these skills run into the problem of having a pretty strict requirement. Getting 1st place requires you to fight for a position as a frontrunner, and getting 6th place can sometimes even feel like a complete toss-up. Which brings us to Mejiro Dober's unique skill, moving past and beyond. This unique skill is also known as kanata, which in Japanese means the other side or that place. I'll be calling it kanata or beyond from now on. Without understanding the terminology of Umamusume, it is quite difficult for a normal player to understand what this unique skill is supposed to do. Hence, I made this video just to explain the mechanics or the proc conditions of this unique skill so people will understand it better. This unique skill has one precondition, one placement condition, and also 2 track-dependent conditions. However, it is not as complicated as you think it is. I'll be explaining it right now. The first and only precondition of this unique skill is to be calm. If your Uma enters the rushed mode, you will not be able to activate this unique skill. The placement conditions of this unique skill is simply 5th to 6th place when you pass the area where the skill is supposed to proc. Now, you might be wondering, then where does the skill actually proc? Here is where it gets tricky. After fulfilling the preconditions, there are 2 different scenarios where kanata will proc. If your Uma does not reach the late game before she reaches corner 4, this unique skill will proc on corner 4. An example of this would be on Tokyo 1600 meters, the conditions for CM3. The endgame starts at the end of 4th corner. This is C4 and this is end of C4. Dober Unique will not care about where the late game starts as long as she passes the corner 4 in the middle game. If she passes corner 4 in the middle game, Dober Unique is going to proc on corner 4, directly at this specific spot, wasting all of its effect on this area. It will not have any meaningful acceleration because it does not carry all the way over here. It's not even close. One thing to keep note of is that even if you overtake the 6th place and take their 6th place position beyond the final corner, this unique skill will still not delay proc. You're moving past and beyond the 4th corner. This unique skill is fundamentally different from how other acceleration skills such as Redshift or Let's Pump Some Iron works, as it has a picky requirement in terms of where it will proc. It is only going to be on this line if the late game does not start before this line. Past the 4th corner, and there is no unique skill. This is the second condition of this unique skill. If your Uma does reach the late game before reaching corner 4, it will proc the moment the Uma comes into contact with corner 3. For example, on Hanshin 2200 meters, CM4, since the late game starts on Kono 3 and not Kono 4 and beyond, this unique skill will actually insta-proc on this spot. It is going to be an instantaneous acceleration, just like Major Orion's Last Pumps of Iron or Saiyan Sky's Angling and Scheming. This means that instead of one Uma in the front and in the back getting to play the game, now there are two Umas at the back and one Uma at the front getting to play the game on Hanshin 2200 meters CM4. Boy, I love this course, but this is not the time for complaining about Hanshin Racecourse. Another example of Mejiro Dober's unique skill being effective is going to be on CM8, the Arimakinen. On the Arimakinen, assuming that we are on 5th to 6th place, our Uma, when passing into the late game, the start of the late game is actually still a straight due to how the delay into third corner is so minimal. This unique skill, Kanata, is going to still be effective. When your Uma enters this spot, enters the third corner, she will instantly proc her unique skill on the late game. And this is going to be a pretty effective acceleration skill for the Arimakinen for late surgers and end closers. That's it. You now understand the proc conditions of moving past and beyond this overly complicated unique skill that had no reason to be this complicated. A final tip to increase the consistency of being on 5th to 6th place that I have for you guys is going to be, number 1, have more middle game skills. Simply buying more middle game skills than the average player is going to consistently allow you to filter yourself from your fellow late surger and end closer players. Who knew that the best way to play late surger and end closer is to play them like a pace chaser? Yes, just try to catch up in the front and never stop chasing the pace of the lobby. Number 2, run frontrunners to speed up the pace. This is called a chariot, in which you run 2 frontrunners to support your late surger ace or end closer ace to move up to speed up the pace to allow for more skill procs because of her late surger or end closer position conditions, and also to filter her, which has a better middle game skill, from the other late surgers and end closers, and get you into the front. If your late surger has more middle game skills and also a higher wit stat than your opponent, you should see an immediate increase in the performance of your late surger and end closer ace because of your 2 frontrunners. That's going to be it for this video. This is Charles of Victoria Frontier. Thank you for watching. If you would like personalized advice for how to prepare for your Oshi in any champions meeting, consider joining our channel members for access to members only chat, to ask me questions, or you can directly ask me through Charles Victoria Frontier on Coffee. Once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.